The Speaker recognizes the Honorable Dian Slavens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to address this body, and what an honor it has been to work with so many of you. Colleagues, it has been an honor and a privilege to serve in the Michigan House of Representatives these past 6 years. Every time I walk into the Capitol, I'm in such awe. I'm so fortunate to work in this beautiful building, be part of Michigan's government, and have a firsthand view of democracy in action. The good, the bad, and the ugly. A lot of good, a little bad, and a smidge of ugly. First and foremost, I want to thank the people of the 21st District who've given me a remarkable opportunity to represent them in this chamber. It has been an honor to serve them these past 6 years, and I hope I've lived up to their expectations. Thank you. I'd also like to thank the thousands of state employees who make this state function. In a term-limited era, legislators come and go, but the dedicated, competent, hardworking state workers are there to provide services for the people of Michigan day in and day out, year after year. I'd also like to thank and owe gratitude to the staff who make our job in the legislature so much easier. Clerk Randall and Brown, your staff, the policy and communication staff in both caucuses who work so well. Tim Bolin and everyone in the business office, the facilities staff who so lovingly and competently preserve and maintain this beautiful Capitol building. The IT staff, Chief Sergeant Dixon and all the sergeants, and the incredible people who staff, the incredible staff who tour, work at the tour desk and make history come alive for the thousands of visitors of all ages that come through this building. I know so many of the students in my district have just enjoyed it, so. And I'd also like to thank my incredible staff, Team Slavens. I do have the best team. Katie Whitman, who's been with me all 3 terms. I've been so fortunate to have Katie. I couldn't thank her enough for her incredible work ethics, her support, her commitment to the people of the 21st District. Thank you. Weston Lindbergh, who's been with me for a little over 3 years and has been a great addition to our team. So many former staff members I've had, Moreno Taylor, Rachel Rademacher, Jonathan Lucky, Jordan Roble, Caitlin April, and Jessica Lumbreras. I thank you all for making me look so good. And lastly, my family, my husband and my best friend who's been my rock. He's encouraged me every step of the way. My daughter, Damie, and my daughter, Molly, and my son, Patrick, along with my grandson, Evan. I look forward to spending a lot more time with them. I was told 6 years would go by fast, and it certainly has. But my family life has gone just as quickly. In the past 6 years, just like so many of you, so many changes have happened, good and bad. I've had 4 graduations, 1 wedding, and a grandson who is now 7. I've also lost my father. I appreciate my mother, who's truly a saint, and my siblings for helping care for him, especially in his last 2 years living with Alzheimer's. The loss of my mother-in-law, she was in hospice last lame duck session, and I was able to sit with her after session. Every night I'd go sit with her. As an educator and a librarian, she always wanted to know what happened that day. In fact, I would tell her, and I did speak last lame duck on a few words she had to say to the governor. She truly was a gem, and I want to thank all of you for being so supportive during that time. I've seen a lot of good things happen. We all have the past 6 years. And here's just a small list. The autism coverage, the smoking ban, elder abuse, the Michigan Silver Alert, improvements with adoptions, and with foster care. And I want to thank Chair Kurtz. He's been on Family, Children, and Seniors all 3 terms with me. and we've seen so many improvements with that. The Medicaid expansion, Detroit Grand Bargain, and I do hope we do pass the foster parent and foster child Bill of Rights. Those are so important, and I think it will help improve our foster care. I also have seen legislation move too quickly, the bad. I've also seen legislation move too quickly at the cost of unintended consequences. Right to work was rammed through, per pupil funding was cut, lifting the cap on charter and cyber schools, especially with the same per pupil funding for all of it, is so wrong. And then the abortion rider, and that's just to name a few. And then the ugly, the silence, and we've both done it, whoever's been in control. Locking the Capitol down during right to work, this is a people's house. Stacking the gallery with staff so fewer people could sit there. And then switching your party with 1 minute often, 1 minute left to file. That's the ugly. And so that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. I have no regrets on my votes that I've taken. I fought hard to get rid of lifetime health care benefits, especially in a term-limited era, and I know I have a lot of enemies because of that, but it was the right thing to do. My nay vote on the speaker, and thank you, Doug Geis, for standing with me. I wish the caucus would have stood strong and stood by our side. Although we make mistakes, the strength of this body should always rely on strong integrity and ethical standards. So I'll leave you with a thought. If you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. May God bless you and all of your families in the great state of Michigan. Thank you.